Welcome here on this cold day here in Pretoria. It is the Afghanistan A versus India in this fourth match of the Tri-Series. We are live from Tuks Oval in Pretoria. And it should be an exciting encounter between these two teams. Earlier on, Johan van der Vaart, former Proteas player, took us to the pitch just to examine how it's going to behave like.
Morning viewers here from Pretoria and the Pretoria University for the fourth game in this tri-series between South Africa A, Afghanistan A and India A. If you have a look down at the wicket, it's been a used wicket. It's got a really good grass covering overall. If we move down here, if we move down to the business area, okay. Okay, if I move down.
Yes, it is 2 minutes to go till the first ball is bowled, even less than that. But there should be an exciting encounter, and I am accompanied here by former professional player, Kobe Spinner.
Morning, Dumi. Definitely a good day for cricket. Quite chilly here, so I don't think these guys are very used to these conditions here. So Afghanistan won the toss, will definitely favour the bowlers a little bit here and hopefully swing around a bit to morning. And let's see what the India guys can do after a good win in the previous encounter.
Yeah, these two teams have encountered each other a couple of days back, which India got the upper hand. Let's see how today is going to pan out. First ball coming up. Starts off with a wide, and no ball. Not a great start for the Afghans team. It is a free hit early on in the innings.
Yeah, number 23 on his back is going to have a free hit to get his account up and running here. Always a nice way to start your innings. No pressure whatsoever. So let's see what he can dish up for us here.
Freebie it is. That's a lovely position Aya is in to have a free hit. Second ball of the match. Where's it gonna go? Hits it up in the air, doesn't get much of it. It will clear mid-off and it will go all the way for 4.
Yeah, always a nice way to start your innings off of a boundary. He didn't quite get all of it as well as you would have liked to, but a good 4 to get him going. We were quite impressed with the way Farid bowled in the previous game against South Africa A on Sunday. It just looks like he hasn't got his run up 100% yet, and hopefully he can settle soon because he's quite a standout on Sunday's game for Afghanistan A.
Yes, he really ran in on Sunday. Bowled with energy, bowled with enthusiasm. Full on the legs, good fielding. He really timed that sweetly, but hit it straight to mid-wicket. And they just strolled through for a single.
Yeah, as Johan said in the pitch report, it's definitely a very good wicket and we're looking for a high-scoring encounter again. And if you see that, the way he timed that ball through the mid-wicket area there, he definitely saved a certain 4 there, and it looks like it's definitely a lot of quality for good shots here on this wicket today.
Obviously different conditions above us, and obviously in the air it is a bit overcast here today. Hopefully for the bowlers to offer something early on, like it always does, unlike the other day where the sun was out. Oh, it's an appeal for an LBW early on. It is turned down by the umpire. Got the slight feeling that he might have just pitched outside leg stump, coming in at the angle that is coming. Farid
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I just think the batter were lucky there with the angle. The left arm over might have just pitched outside leg stump there, but a very good shot. And it just shows you there, it's all good enough to say the ball will move around, but it's still important to get the ball in the right areas. And as you showed there, the first ball in a good area there, hitting top of off stump, and he asked good questions.
Nervous start by Naya. Ball to his legs again. Bread and butter is running hard. That one will be cut off this time around. Right over the top. He needs to settle early on here, Farid. He needs to find his line and length. First couple of balls, he's just been a little bit rattled. Starting off with a no ball. Did have a good appeal, but a couple of his legs just to get the batsman going.
Yeah, if you look at his field there, straight away a field change, taking the second slip into a square leg position. I just sometimes feel doing that, you're just setting a field for bad bowling. If you look at the new ball, you look to strike up front, and I think the two slips were a better option there, but obviously a bit of swing, and he got the square leg in instead of the second slip.
It's time full. Induces a full stroke. Trickles away towards fine leg. Totally agree with you, Kobus. I think early on in the day, you would like to have those two slips hanging there waiting for the catch. Ball is fresh, it's new, the wicket just been used. So you are expecting something to go towards the slip coordinate. I think the Afghanistan team here just got it wrong slightly, setting the field for the bad bowling. Full on this occasion, nicely hit, straight to covers this time for no run. It's the end of the first over, 9 for no wicket.
Yeah, very good start for India there, a couple of very good shots there. Batters get himself in very good positions. I just hope from an Afghanistan point of view that Farid can find his rhythm and find his run up here. It just looked like he struggled a bit, overstriding a bit in his run up, and I think from a captain's point of view, they really need him to do a good job for them here today.
Those are the two teams, India with a star-studded lineup. Some of these fellas have shown up in the national team for their country, and Afghanistan have had a tough tour so far, but which is expected because I think experience for them is more important than anything, and what better way to learn than being on this kind of a stage against the two quality teams of South Africa and India.
Yeah, the bowler for Afghanistan from the High Performance Cricket South Africa area is Ibrahim. He hasn't played in the previous game on Sunday, so we're good to see what he can offer for the Afghanistan side here today.
Right on the mark, first ball up. And one thing Afghanistan can learn from the previous day against South Africa is just to continue the pressure that they're building every ball. What they did is that they bowled good balls on certain periods of the day, but were at fault by just bowling way too many bad balls, which freed the pressure from their position. Looking for a quick single. He's going to get through this time.
That's a very good ball here, very good start here by Ibrahim. And I totally agree with you. We just felt like the South African batters weren't pressure for long enough in terms of dot balls. They were just able to score freely both sides of the wicket, and that's very hard for a captain to set a field. And if you can find that area where you top of off stump more often than not, the captain can set a field and you can build pressure, especially on a wicket which is going to be quite slow and a used wicket where there's not a lot of assistance for the bowlers. You need to find a different way to create pressure.
Full, driven straight to cover.
It's the standing umpire today, Brad White, South African umpire, ex-first class player for Border, Brad White. It's good to see him. Nickname is the horse, so it's good to see him being busy in the winter.
Short on this occasion. Nicely patted back. 2 covers.
Yeah, it's always good to see Brad White, ex-first class player, standing and staying in the game for longer, and it's always good to have the guys around who've played the game to be sure what's needed and what's required.
Opened the batting in his times, Brad White. He's on point here, Sharif. He's kept it tidy early on, exactly what Afghanistan needs. Can't afford to get this Indian batsman going in the right direction, giving them momentum, absorb pressure early on, force them to make the initiative, will induce a false mistake. I still think that that slip alone is not enough. We're undecided as to where they want to place their field. So a square leg is going to cross to the offside. They've beefed up the offside, giving an extra cover. Full on this occasion, straight to point. And it's the end of the second, 10 without loss.
I definitely feel the Afghanistan captain will be very happy if Ibrahim started his first over here. He kept it one side of the wicket, he kept it simple. There's not a lot of assistance for the seamers, as we mentioned, and you need that sort of bowlers to create some sort of pressure. Very good start by Ibrahim.
Farid to continue. Full on this occasion again, just clipped off the legs, trickling away to finally, it still hasn't quite found his marks and his line and length. Still settle on that one position where he can ask questions.
Yeah, I agree with you. It definitely looks like there's a hint of swing back into the right-handed batters, but it's just starting a little bit too straight for it to be effective at all.
Much better. Forcing the batsman to come forward. Started off well against South Africa. Farid. He ran in with energy. He used his angle across the right-hander, asking questions. That's why he was able to be bowling to 2 slips. But on this occasion, he bowled just a little too much on his legs. So it's forcing the captain just to beef up the leg side, which I disagree with early on in this innings. That's where he wants to be. That's exactly where he wants to be. Handling it away from the right-hander, asking questions, putting doubt in his head.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. As soon as you can get that right and force the batter to come over to the offside there and to press forward, when the ball swings back in, you're going to have 2 ways of dismissing the right-handed batter. So that's the right line you want to bowl. And as we said earlier, if we can keep that consistently, we can get that square leg back to second slip maybe.
Absolutely, that second slip is needed, especially if he's going to hit those places. On the leg side again. So he's struggling a little bit here for consistency. Farid. He will need to find it very quickly. absolutely losing his bearings here, Farid. It's the second no ball in less than 2 overs. Just frees the pressure from the Indian side. That's exactly what they didn't need early on.
Yeah, it's those small margins that sets the mood in the field. And a couple of no balls here, you can straight away see the fielders on the edge of the disc here just protecting this ball. And they're sort of reactive instead of being proactive trying to take wickets.
He's gone up in the air towards the deep wicket boundary. Has he got enough of it? He's going to plug on the ground. And they will come back for 2. Just a free and easy release of pressure for the Indian batsman. Farid is not going to impress with himself. He hasn't been able to create enough pressure this occasion. Hits a good length and gets it high up on the bat. That's why he couldn't get the distance that he wanted. Instead, he got the elevation. It looks good when he throws his batsman forward. But end of the second, 18 without loss.
Yeah, if you look at the 8 try series between Afghanistan, South Africa and India, match 1 South Africa won just very closely against India by 2 wickets, and then India beat Afghanistan by 7 wickets, and then on Sunday South Africa beat Afghanistan by a big margin of 164 runs. So Afghanistan still without a win, so they will fight hard to get the first win, and India need to get back to winning ways.
Sharif back on his marks there. He's bowled well. First over, just going for a run. It is the 4th over. Game has moved so quickly. But I thought it was the 2nd over done, but it's actually the 4th. Score is on 18. And you've hardly seen an angry shot besides those 2 no balls which resulted in free hits. Hitting the dig hard, I think that's what it's needed. It looks a good wicket, as Johan took us through earlier on. I think what's needed in a pitch like this is you gotta hit the dig. It does look a very, very good batting wicket.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like what Ibrahim lacks in pace, he definitely has in accuracy, and he's quite consistent on an off-stump line. And just looks like the ball is seaming in a little bit of the seam at the moment.
Well driven, they're running for the single. Oh, mid-on is just a bit too slow. Should be on the watch, should be walking in. Just a little bit back on his heels. I know to get to the program quickly here, Afghanistan, before this game disappears in his first 10 overs. Nicely driven. And he's on the run as soon as he hits the ball. Cut on this occasion. That's going to go for 4.
Yeah, very, very good shot there by Ayer. Just looks like the bowler gave him a little bit too much room outside the off stump, but he just left that off stump line, and it was easy for him to get his hands through the ball. A lovely back foot punch through the offside for 4.
It just shows how good this pitch is. He just rocked back and across, and just had a nice little punch. Back again. Looks like he's got more than enough time here. Naya.
He took the words out of my mouth there. It just looks like a class player. Batter got enough time there. The way he gets into position just showed that he's not rushed, and he moves freely, and it shows what a good player he is.
Short on this occasion forces Aya to go back. And it's the end of the fourth. 23 without loss.
Yeah, if you look at the star start at Indian A side, it's always good to see the guys here playing 50 over cricket. We're so accomplished with them and see them playing in the IPL 20 over form cricket. And it's good to see what they are like in a longer version and to see what India got for the future.
That's how it stands thus far. Aya is on 11 of 17 balls. And Naya hasn't had enough of the bowling. He's done 6. Just facing 9 balls. Star-studded batting lineup, as Corpus just said. Captain putting his faith on Farid. After 2 overs. Gone for 17. Couple of no balls. Free hits. Pressure released. But when your captain has got faith in you, guess it gives you some kind of energy.
I totally agree with you. Was he stand out on Sunday, so he needs to find his rhythm and be back. If he gets the ball in the right area, there's definitely enough assistance with the overcast conditions.
That's where he wants to be, more often than not. That's exactly where he wants to be. On Sunday, his first 4 overs, that's where he bowled to the South African batsman. Struggled today, but on this occasion, he got it absolutely spot on. Just very unfortunate not to get the outside edge on that occasion. Another no ball, and he strays down the leg side, catches the thigh pad of Naya. Very, very naughty from Farid. He's just lost his bearings. Just doesn't look in rhythm at all.
No, we mentioned he's a Buzzley bowler and it just looks like he's running in against himself here, and there's no consistency, no momentum in his run up here, so he's definitely struggling a little bit. And you can just see his body language. He's definitely fighting a losing battle at the moment. Hopefully he can rectify it. Maybe take him off and bring him on from the other side. Won't be a bad option from his captain, just to get him out of this tussle he's in at the moment.
Naya has got a choice again of where to hit this ball. It is a free hit. Let's see what he's going to do. He's gone on the front foot. He hasn't quite gotten hold of it. It will be taken at mid-on, but it's not going to count. This is going to cost Afghanistan. They've just bowled 1 too many extras today, early on in the day. And we know how this Indian team can bat once they get in.
Much better there. Very good line there off stump. We said it on Sunday also, on this back end of the South African winter on the wickets here, the longer you get in and the more you get used to the pace of the wicket, the easier it becomes to score. And that's the same situation that India is finding themselves in now, getting into the 5th over. If these guys can bat 10, 15 overs, it's going to be so much easier to score and so freely to score. So it's important for Afghanistan to keep looking to take wickets. Otherwise they might find themselves chasing a massive score this afternoon again.
Forces him back. It's actually quite good to be able to see the depth of Indian cricket. Most of these players have played on the big stage. The likes of the captain, Manish Pandey, has played on the big stage, and they just look a quality outfit. But we're undone on the first game, though, by South Africa A on a low-scoring day. I'm not quite sure if it was a pitch, but on a low-scoring day where Dwayne Pretorius performed well with both the bat and the ball. Playing the miss, but it just doesn't happen often enough. But that's the end of the fifth over. It's 27 without loss.
Yeah, we can see why they won the toss and bowled first. You can see if they get the ball in the right area. They're asking good questions there, and as you rightly said, it's just a matter of inconsistency at the moment, which doesn't allow them to put pressure on the Indian batters.
I think Afghanistan, more than anything, will be looking to better their cricket in terms of experience against such a class Indian A side. Sharif carries on and does what he's been doing since he picked up that white ball.
Yeah, I agree with you. They recently got test status alongside with Ireland at the moment, so these next in line players need to step up and make sure they get themselves ready to be able to play for the national side and to take the country's cricket forward. They've done well in recent tournaments and they're definitely a standout, so it's good to see them getting test status and being rewarded for hard work over the last few years.
We've got the likes of Rahul Dravid, who is a legend in Test cricket. Used to call him the wall back in his days. So imagine as the Indian A side traveling with such quality in your camp, surely does rub off you, give you some kind of inspiration to do well.
Yeah, we've seen it on Sunday. Also, South Africa is fortunate to have Herschel Gibbs also as their batting consultant.
He's bowled well thus far, Sharif. He's asking questions. He hasn't given much. So far, halfway in his third over, he's just gone for 6. Not much swing. So those margins of error, they turn to thin up. Control and consistency becomes vital. Naughty on that occasion, slides down the leg side. Just touches and clips the thigh pad, which will run away for 4.
Yeah, such a good spell so far. It's just a little bit too greedy there, just going a little bit too straight there and losing his lines, and gives an easy 4 leg byes for the batters there. And that's the thing there also, it doesn't go against the bowler, but the scoreboard keeps moving forward and it puts pressure on the captain to get his fields right.
Back on his mark. I think he's probably allowed himself to get greedy. I mean, he's earned it to try something different. He's bowled well. He's hit the bat hard. He's asked the necessary questions. So he thought, let me just have a go and see if I can just have a go at the LBW. Just guess that one totally wrong. Full on that occasion, nicely driven. That will stroll through for the single. That's the end of the 5th. 32 without loss.
Yeah, there you look at the points table of the try series so far. South Africa played 2-1-2 on 10 points there. India A played 2-1-1, lost 1 on 5 points. And Afghanistan still waiting to get up the mark. Hopefully today they can change it up.
Captain sticking by his guns there, believing in Farid, believing that he can turn things around. He's gone for 21 in his 3 overs. Been very expensive, been very inconsistent. But the captain has shown faith in him thus far. Full on that occasion, clipped on the leg side. But they've put him mid-wicket, taken out the slip, and that's where he's gone. Not quite agreeing with the field placings, but if your bowler is struggling and you're keeping him on, I guess you are kind of forced to make those kind of decisions.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. You've got to protect your bowler and you've got to protect the run rate at the end of the day. If you look at one-day cricket, it doesn't matter how many wickets you take, you need to get the most runs on the day to win the game. So that's a good ploy by the captain. And to sticking with him is good also to give him some confidence and make sure he finds his rhythm and he finds his feet here today.
Down the leg side on that occasion. It's not going to be wide, so it must have clipped the pad or the bat as it bounced short to the keeper. Struggling a bit here, Farid, as has been the case since he opened the bowling. Just doesn't quite have the rhythm that he wants.
So much more to work with on that line for his captain. As I said earlier, he brings 2 ways of dismissals in there. Brings the slip and the keeper in way, and maybe if the ball swings back in, can get an LBW or a bowl there. So it's so much more effective. What I like about the Afghanistan attack with the left-arm opening bowler, it's a bit of variety in the attack. And if you can use it to their advantage, they got that. They got a left-arm spinner, they got a leg spinner. So a lot of variety in the attack. It's just a matter of getting more consistent and make sure you use it to their advantage and not to make it too easy for the batters at times.
Yeah, Farid just left with 2 balls in this over. One of the rare maidens that is stringing together here.
Yeah, it's sometimes good for his captain to show good faith in him to keep him on here. He's rewarding him in his 4th over here to make sure he potentially get a maiden here. Something wrong with the ball here. Let's see what the umpires and the captain is up to.
Still a little bit of a hold up here on the field. It's a groundsman.
Yeah, there's a sprinkler going on there on the 3rd man area. Something happened there at the practice facilities here at the University of Pretoria. So a little bit of a commotion here, but we'll sort it out sooner than later.
Well, they clearly love to water their fields here. The field is looking lush green this time of the year.
It seems the player just turned it off, but you can see behind him there's a series of them that have come on. So obviously the water is just
Players taking a
completely shut down.
short drink session. It's not quite that hot today, not as hot as it was on Sunday. But any opportunity that they can get some to drink, they'll have a go. There's the sprinkler that is stopping the proceedings here today.
A lot of pressure there and ended up in a burst pipe there, so definitely a bit of problem here. Hopefully we can resolve it soon. Z, the manager here at Tuks Cricket, is doing a good job there. I don't know if he's 100% skilled in waterworks. He's more of a guy behind the PC and doing the admin, but he's doing a good job so far to stop the water.
I wonder what is he saying to the 3rd man fielder. Oh, there we go. A little bit under pressure there, Z. That is what has transpired so far. South Africa beating India by 2 wickets in the first game. India giving Afghanistan a proper beating by 7 wickets in match number 2. And on Sunday, with Reza Hendricks scoring a wonderful 172 of 144 balls. South Africa beating Afghanistan by 164 runs. And matches to come. South Africa will play India on Thursday and Afghanistan on Saturday. Then the final will be on the 8th. And that's how the table stands. South Africa has played won both games, sitting on 10 points. India losing 1 match to the South Africans with 5 points. And Afghanistan still struggling to get off the points thus far. As we know, the top 2 teams will advance to the final. I think he's actually blocking the water with his thumb there. Are there more sprinklers there on the field? Looks like there's more than one sprinkler that's on the field there. It's on third man and just wide of third man.
It looks like the problem is there, the practice facilities there, where the nets, they water the nets there, so a bit of trouble there. So hopefully we can rectify it sooner than later.
I think a little bit of sawdust just to dry the area up. Don't often see this site on a not so rainy day, not rain at all.
Yeah, I'm surprised they got the sawdust available for today. In the winter here we don't expect any rain at all. So things happen, but looks like they got it under control, and hopefully we'll have some cricket sooner rather than later.
Gentlemen, we're good. We are good to go.
Yeah, looks like we rectified the problem there with the burst pipe there, so all will be sorted. Back to the cricket here, and hopefully Farid can have 2 more good balls just to get him back into rhythm here for the Afghanistan side. Umpires are ready, back to the action, all the guys off to the drinks. So let's get ourselves back to some proper cricket again.
You have leg stump there. I'll just check the scorers are back with us. Thank you.
I think we're ready
Gentlemen,
to continue the proceedings here. Looks like he's holding the ball cross seam there. That's what he's been looking for the whole morning. Maybe those sprinklers should have come on a bit earlier.
Yeah, the captain showed good faith to keep him on, and he's definitely rewarding his captain with a very good over so far. And always say the last ball of over, it's very important about how you close your over going into for the next bowler to come in. So it's a very, very important ball here for Farid.
Getting line up with Pont.
Better again. Yeah, and a little bit of a subdued start from India. Just going at 4.5. Might be the conditions, but I think Afghanistan has bowled pretty well this morning.
Oh, that's off the thigh pad. I wanted to ask you about the start. Quite a subdued start, like you said, from India, 32 without loss of a wicket. But give credit to the bowlers thus far, apart from the opening bowler that has been a bit naughty in terms of his no balls. But otherwise, they can be satisfied thus far, the bowlers, how they started this morning from Afghanistan.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think obviously it's also a massive learning curve for guys like Afghanistan. Different conditions. They've now played a couple of games, so they'll get used to it. They'll find their links, you know. So, but all in all, it's been a really good start. They haven't picked up a wicket yet, but they've hit their links and the line's really good.
Oh, cries of catching, but straight to the man, their third man. One more run. A good tournament thus far, especially for South Africa, eh? 2 wins under the belt. Both of these two teams can still qualify for the final on Tuesday. But having a look at the batting lineup of India, very strong batting lineup. And then you have a coach in Rahul Dravid. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, it's nice to see Rahul this morning. We had a word with him. Played against him actually, a couple of games. He's known as the Rock from India. Yeah, good to see him. Yeah, India's got a really good, strong batting lineup. You know, I always say these A games are fantastic. These are the guys that's knocking down the door for the national side.
Ah, good shot through the covers. Is it gonna reach the fence? Yeah, just about.
Full on this occasion. Finds the gap higher. And this outfield lightning quick, which you'd expect this time of the year. Get full value for shots. Runs away for 4.
Despite of the fact that we're still in winter in the southern hemisphere, outfield still lavish and green. End of the over. Sharifi, his 4th over that he completed. Naught for 13. India A 38 without the loss of a wicket. It was quite a good start for the India A team with that first over. Good second over. And after that, just here and there, about 5-6 runs and over from there. There's a bowling change for Afghanistan A. Nawaz for the first time into the attack. Is it something to do with the pitch or the conditions of the pitch that we don't see the fluency of a guy like Iyer or Nair now?
Yeah, I felt we had the same sort of start from South Africa on Sunday. They reached 333. I think, you know, it's got a good covering of grass on it. Starts with a short one, feels he gets away, but I feel as soon as they bat, it just takes them a little bit of time to get used to the pace. It's what we felt Sunday with South Africa, and once the batters got the pace, they start piling on the runs. So, but I also feel Afghanistan has bowled a little bit better this morning than they have in previous games. But I'm sure when the batters start getting the pace, that run rate will increase, most certainly.
Well, cries of catching, and it's out, in the first wicket down for India. And Nawaz, in his first over, get rid of one of the opening batsmen. And India 38 for 1.
Again, not getting the timing quite right. It was short, it was there. They only managed to get top off of the bat on that. Good catch at the end. India loses their first wicket. Now here, gone for 11.
Yeah, not quite that short. Batsman couldn't get hold of that one. So the first wicket down for India. But like Johan mentioned before, they've got a very strong batting lineup. The team of India A, especially the guy that's coming in next.
Punt, a new batsman for India. Batting at 3, also the wicket keeper. It's also a guy that's played a couple of international games. Yeah, also the wicket, they've just changed the bowling. Looks like there might be a little bit more pace. There you go again. Dug in, maybe not short enough, high on the bat. A little bit of extra pace. At the end, really good catch.
You know, he made it look easy. And like you said, very good catch. Now the young man in, like you mentioned, the wicket keeper, Rishabh Pant, only 19 years of age. Nice to see the team of Afghanistan A. It was supposed to be Australia A, but we know of all the problems they have thus far. Now fielding change as well. Second slip coming in. His first ball, can you believe it, through the covers, and that one is going for 4. No, I don't think it's another batsman. I got it wrong this time around, but an excellent shot through the covers for 4.
Overcorrected, went full this time. Gave him freedom to free his arms. Fantastic shot. Finds the gap this time. One feels he's been there now for 8-9 overs. He needs to get the pace of the wicket. A little bit of a freebie there and put it away.
Short one, just tucked underneath it. 2 slips fairly close to each other, first and second slip.
Now short again, this is the third short one. One doesn't expect this time of the year. There's a bit of a grass covering, but it's not live grass. The wicket is hard, but it's not the type of wicket that's going to fly through at this stage of the game and where we are in winter. Just, you know, for me it looks like the old feather bed, as they speak in England.
Good looking shot for no run. And if you talk about featherbed, what are you referring to, Jan?
The featherbed is something that the English refer to when it's just a superb cricket wicket. Whatever you put in as a bowler, you don't feel you necessarily get up what you want. So the ball comes through true, and it's just really, really good to bat on.
So in other words, a belter.
In other words, a belter.
End of the 9th over, 42 for 1. Run rate 4.6. Good start for Afghanistan A.
It will be interesting to see if we will see a little bit of turn. I feel maybe later on in the game. This wicket has been used last week. Interesting on South Africa's game, we didn't see a lot of turn, but it was the spinners that did the damage. So interesting to see if we can see a little bit of turn, which is interesting. Afghanistan winning the toss, batting first. We all felt upstairs that if you win the toss, put a good score on the scorecard. But currently Afghanistan continuing with seam bowling. One slip in for the new punt, a new batsman. Nawaz has been very good this morning. Only gone for 13 of his 4 overs.
Oh, brilliant delivery.
Beats the outside edge. First ball. Really good delivery. Pitches middle and off, leaves him. play and a miss.
No, good way to start the over here. Just the one slip fielder in. Third man also on the boundary. Oh, another good one. Almost find the edge there. No, was. An understandable punt. Just walked in now, the 19-year-old.
Looks a little bit nervous, not a lot of feet movement. This time a little bit fuller. Because of that, it'll be a field change. Afghanistan feels the second slip is needed, and rightly so.
Yeah, very nervous start for punt. Oh, excellent fielding. Afghanistan and all the sort of minnows in international cricket, Jan, is if they get a sniff that they can beat you, doesn't matter who you are, then they are a dangerous side.
Yeah, we've seen that in a few ICC events. We've seen that before. Bangladesh beating England, beating Australia as well in one of the tournaments. That's just played down to third man, and punt is off the mark. He'll be relieved with that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Whenever they feel they're in with a sniff, you can see their body language. They're running around and on their toes this morning. They can put you under pressure, and I feel they've done a real good job this morning putting India under pressure. India hasn't run away with it.
The only concern for them is just consistency. And understandably so. The opening batsmen just feel more comfortable. Get in line quickly. Get ball onto bat. That's Iyer.
Yeah, you talk about consistency, and what we can throw in there as well is depth. You know, the openings bowlers have done really good. You must make sure the follow-up bowlers do exactly the same job, which is important for a team like Afghanistan.
Definitely some pressure that's been building. Sharifi, 0 for 14 in his 5 overs, 43 for 1 after 10. 4.3 the run rate as it stands. Yeah, beautiful day here in Pretoria. There's a hint of sunshine at the moment. We're looking forward to that because it's been quite cold.
I was almost trying on my sunglasses. Yeah, that's also the end of the first power play. South Africa, India A managed 43. Only the loss of 1 wicket.
1 week towards you.
Now, this is the guy who took the wicket now, was in his first over, 1 for 4.
That's it, 1 leg. 2 leg. That's centre, so back.
He's asking for 2 leg, and the umpire said that's centre. So the first power play done and dusted. Really good bowling from Afghanistan. Really impressed with how they go about their job at the moment.
Oh, it's also nice to see. I know that's a new batter. They still got the slip in, still attacking. They've got deep square leg on the boundary, but keep the slip in, keep attacking. New batter.
Keeping the pressure on punt. Faced 5 deliveries thus far, just for his 1 run.
Generally, we all expect a high-scoring event. High-scoring hasn't been the case this morning in the first 10 overs. India only going just over 4.
run. Yeah, we were actually joking about it this morning when we saw that India is going to bat first, and we all said, well, about 350, 300, 350. At the moment, as it stands, 4.19. You must give credit to the Afghanistan bowlers. Now India A, their last result, beat Afghanistan A by 7 wickets. Comfortable victory for them. Kayed square leg move to the boundary. And yet extra cover. Oh! Almost a catch. So close. And almost the second wicket for Afghanistan A.
See, a little bit early on that. Leading edge loops up in the air. Bowler can't get to it. That's exactly what Afghanistan would have been looking for. Quick second wicket. But again, really good bowling from Nawaz.
Brilliant shot. Not going to reach the boundary though. Got to turn for. No, just a single.
Yeah, it looks if the wicket is a little bit slower than expected. A couple of shots. The batters are early on them. You could see that return catch, nearly return catch. Maybe the Indian batsman just taking their time getting used to the pace of the wicket.
Another single. Added to the tally of India A. Just in drips and drabs, the scoring at the moment. After 11 overs, India A 46 for 1. Yeah, as we mentioned before, beautiful day in Pretoria. Just a bit cold though. First power play, just the 43 runs, the 1 wicket that fell. And wonderful facilities here at Tuks. Assupol Tuks as it stands at the moment for them. Sharifi will start with his 6th over, not for 14.
Straight back on line and length again. Yeah, you mentioned the facilities. I think they're blessed with fantastic facilities in Pretoria University. Such a lovely ground to come and play cricket this time of the year.
And it's sports galore. The HBC just next door. Also the high Tuks rugby ground. I see just on our right hand side some of the ladies practicing their netball skills as well. So wonderful, wonderful sporting facilities here. Oh, that is a shot for 4. I just wanted to mention just before that shot that we haven't seen a boundary in quite a while. And now the 50 up for India A.
Short, no protection on the leg side. He's moved up, moved one of his fielders across. He's bowling with a 7-2 field. Has to have open areas. Got given the invitation and took it. First boundary for a while, first boundary for punt, and that'll give him a lot of confidence.
Yeah, the young man. Good start for him.
Deep square leg going out to the boundary now. I don't mind the tactic. Try the short one every now and again. I'm a believer that tactics and your field placings need to go hand in hand. Really well bowled. A little bit of extra bounce there. Back on it after the short delivery. He's been really impressive this morning. Into his 6th over.
Now we expected a better start from India in terms of the run rate. 4.2 as it stands. One more ball left in this 12th over. It's been ended off with a single, 51 for 1. And for the next half an hour, Creer van Wyk and Kobus Pinaar.
Good morning to all our viewers and listeners around the world, and a really good war of nutrition this morning between ball and bat, where Afghanistan have showed a lot more disciplined approach than the game on Sunday against Africa A. And as we look at that scorecard, Farik, who was really good with the new ball, but now was to continue from the university end. Quick single to mid-off, scampers through and they're safely home.
Yeah, I agree with you, Creator. Sometimes I only want to be negative, but we could have been critical about Sunday. That was Afghanistan. We just had a feeling in this first 10 overs, the power play, they just sort of looked to get out of it and to get rid of it. Where today they were a lot more disciplined in their approach and they were much better. And it just shows you that they've had good team chats and good discussions to get it better for today's game. And that's where you can see the run rate is at 4 runs per over at the moment, which is a huge improvement from an Afghanistan point.
Gets under it, uppercuts it down to third man, who slides. Oh, valiant effort where he saves 2. They'll be looking to come back for the 3rd here, but they'll settle for 2. Absolutely. You can almost see the extra planning that's gone into their attack, their field placings from the first ball, and I think just the basics they've done really well here. They've been a lot more disciplined in the line in the area they've wanted to bowl, and it's restricted the Indian A side. So they'll just be looking to buy their time, stay nice and disciplined as a batting unit as well, and progress their own partnerships. Slight bit of miscommunication there by Iyer and Pant. And a nice bit of fielding as well.
Yeah, I like that. See the Afghanistan guys spread themselves around. There's no heat around today, so it's nice and cool. And it's good for them to uplift the fielding, and so by doing that, that gives the bowler just a little bit more energy to run in a bit harder for his team. Must say I'm quite impressed with Navas' start here. He definitely got a little bit more pace, and it's good areas at the moment. So nice, big, tall bowler. So it's good to see him coming in and make a difference in today's outfit.
He just works one off the hip here to deep square leg, who charges in from the boundary and does a clean bit of fielding into the keeper. Absolutely, both these two players have done really well for their respective IPL sides. Very young, destructive batters. And like we saw the other day with the South African A innings, just important that they keep going deep, look to build a partnership, and I'm sure that'll affect that run rate as we go on as well.
You sometimes look at similarities, a lot of similarities between this left-hander punt here and
very fine cricket, very fine cricket. They've realised that boundaries have been hard to come by this morning, and they've gone for a softer touch approach. A few cheap singles in this over, one to mid off and they one to cover. So very good how the batters have adjusted and adapted to some very fine disciplined bowling. Oh, chance down. Nawaz has bowled beautifully and deserved that chance to go to hand. Iyer moves on to 25 and a missed opportunity for Afghanistan A. And the score moves on to 57 for 1 after 13 overs.
Yeah, he just took the diving approach there by the wicketkeeper, maybe one extra step there just to get him closer, and it looks like in the process he hurt his finger. But a definite chance when begging. Shafiq, the wicketkeeper there, he will be a little bit disappointed with that chance he gone begging there. But as Kriya said, very, very good bowling at this point by the Afghanistan first chance bowler.
Absolutely, and the higher you go up, the more important it is to take these chances. They're two fine batters, and you really feel sorry for Nawaz. He's bowled his heart out this morning. And unfortunately, Shafiq couldn't hang on to that as he grasped it. Change of bowling. As we see Javed coming to the attack from the HPC end and the Centre of Excellence end.
Yeah, Javed had a very good game on Sunday with bat and ball. Leg spinner was hard for the South African batters to get the better of him at times. Quite a bit of turn we've seen on Sunday. So let's see what he can bring for us today to the party.
Just turns this one off his hip, down to deep square leg. Where Nawaz does the fielding and gets it into the keeper. Absolutely, I think this is a crucial period. We know the Indian side and Indian teams are always very, very good at how they manipulate spin, how they play against the spinners. Their strike rotation is always very effective. And we always move into a different phase now in the game where the slow bowlers will look to dominate.
Thanks. That batsman coming right somewhere around to you.
To mid-wicket, down. Another chance goes begging, this time punt. Who hits it hard into mid-wicket's hand, but this time he grasses it as well. So two chances have gone a begging in the last 2 overs, in the last 3 balls. Same delivery, but this time over the short mid-wicket, and it goes for 4.
Yeah, there's a lot of room for improvement from an Afghanistan point of view. We've seen Sunday also 5 missed chances here and 2 missed chances already today. And if you look at that scorecard now, add 2 wickets to the score, India now will they find themselves in a little bit of trouble here. And both batters now should have been in the pavilion. So it makes a big difference at a bigger stage of a cricket game like today.
Same delivery, short again. And how often do we see that in batting? A chance goes missing, and the next couple of balls are followed up by scoring shots. So very important that the bowler puts that behind him as well, and keep focusing on bowling a good over here.
Yeah, I was mentioned earlier about similarities, and if you look at Pant here, there's a lot of similarities between him and Suresh Raina, who plays for the national side. Short, stocky left-handed batter, got the same approach here. And here again we see a field placing. The mid-wicket goes to the boundary there, cow corner boundary. Just looks like a change for a bad ball potentially.
Drop and run, good touch being shown. So well backed up as well by the fielder at long on. Just very good batsmanship we're seeing here. Yes, they've had a couple opportunities where catches have gone down, but how they are mixing a good power play with good touch play. They're still looking to get once and to keep rotating the strike during this period. And without the bowler even noticing, he's gone for 10 already.
Very well bowled and very well backed up there by the fielder. Brings us to the close of the 14th over. India A on 67 for 1.
As we look at the Manhattan of the Indian A side, you see a couple of big spikes, but also a couple of low overs. And it's almost been the case. You see that last over where there was a big retrieve. It also came at the expense of a drop chance. So Afghanistan A would be really keen to get a little bit more consistency there as well. They've had some very good overs where they've been efficient and disciplined. And India would be looking at a few more high rises and get that center of city nice and tall as well.
Yeah, very much so in a balance here at 67 for 1 after 14 overs. As we discussed it, those 2 wickets here, 67 for 3, would have been a complete different story, and Afghanistan could have been in a better position, but didn't happen. Hence, still in a balance here. So let's see. It's going to be quite an interesting period for us to get to the halfway stage here.
Nawaz to continue from the university end again, as the captain Shafaq just receiving some attention to a finger that seems to have taken a blow when you drop the catch. And he'll be going in at punt, who just started gaining a little bit of momentum after that drop chance and the 2 fours he struck after that.
Nice to see punt here, young Indian batter here. He looks very busy at the crease, looks quite organised, and it looks like he doesn't want the bowler to settle here. He just moved over to the offside there, manipulated the ball to the leg side. So it's always good to see that he got clear plans and play towards his strengths as a batter.
Just goes across his stump, flicks it down to deep, straight mid-wicket, where they'll go through for 2. Yes, it just seems like punt is starting to find the pace of the wicket, a bit more flow to his game. And I think as we see these 2 batters, if you look at the amount of balls they faced as well, they can easily catch up, and that run rate will most definitely grow to over 5s pretty soon. High into the vacant mid-wicket area. Fielder won't get there. Puts in a dive and he'll save 2 for his team.
Yeah, we discussed that on Sunday also. Just look at the field change come there, where the captain puts the deep square in front of square instead of behind square. But the wicket is quite a bit slow here, so I just feel it's a better position for him to have a better chance to have an impact in the game, to be in front of square.
Punt most definitely looking to attack that shortish leg side area. On a slow wicket, easier to generate more pace on the ball by attacking the leg side. So we've seen his clear intentions on where he looks to get a boundary. Batsman's down. Punt in some discomfort here.
Yeah, what made it even worse, I think there's a bit of wood involved there also, so just created a bit of extra pace from the bottom edge of the bat, and it hit him where it's very uncomfortable there. We've all been there at some stage in our careers.
Absolutely, and it's always funny to all your teammates. Not so funny when you're the guy who has been hurt. Just some highlights of the wickets. Just while there's an injury, we're going to have a look at the India A scorecard. Ira still at the crease on 26 of 30 balls. and he's looking to really build on an innings, be one of those top 4 players to look to bat through to that 40th period on a slightly slow wicket here. Karun Nair unfortunately dismissed for 11 of 29 deliveries, and currently the injured batter Pant, who's looking to be really nice and aggressive. He looks to target that leg side boundary, and he's playing quite nicely.
Yeah, if we look at Afghanistan bowler so far, Farid came back nicely. He struggled initially in his first 2 overs, 4 overs for 21. Sharif bowled nicely, 6 overs for 19. Nawaz been the standout so far, 3.4 overs, 1 for 17. Really impressed with him. Javid, the off spinner, started okay. He had a half chance there, drop catch, and 2 balls went for a boundary. But all in all, I definitely feel a slight improvement from Sunday's game with the Afghanistan attack so far.
Of course, this tri-series, we will see all the young talent from India A, South Africa A and Afghanistan battle it out for the winners in this competition. Afghanistan A, they would be very, very keen to put an improved performance after their first 2 games. And good news, Pant is back on his feet after a slight delay.
It's good to see Pant is ready to go again. He looks a very batsman. He's been entertaining us so far, so let's see what he can dish up for us in the next couple of overs. Glad he's ready to go again.
Okay. Let's play.
Nawaz to continue. Punt in behind it, just push it to cover for a dot.
Yeah, it's good to see Nawaz bowl the balls into the wicket, nice and hard. He bowls a heavy ball, and I still always see, especially on these wickets where there's a little bit of inconsistent bounce there, it's quite important to hit the wicket. And by saying that, it's important to still hit the right length. No point just bowling the ball into the wicket for the sake of it. And I think he's been impressive so far today.
That's over.
That end Nawaz 4th over. India A moved to 71 for 1 after 15 overs. As we see a multiple sport facility here, some of the netball ladies working hard at their games as well. Also watching some fine cricket here this morning at the university. A misfield at straight mid-wicket, which allows Iyer to progress his score to 27. And really important that Afghanistan stay nice and tidy in the field. They've done reasonably well this morning with the bowling. Fielding has let them down a little bit, but a great opportunity to pull it back in the middle overs here.
They'll be happy with this. 34 runs of 41 balls in this partnership so far, and they're just slowly starting to find their feet here. And the longer they bat, the more dangerous they're going to become. That's a certainty.
Excellent, Javed. Shabas, shabas. Poska dada. Der marada.
Try from the keeper Shafak for his fielders to stay tidy, to keep building up the pressure.
Excellent, Javeda.
That's a much better length he's bowling now. He just had 3 drag down balls in the previous over, and it just looks like he's found his rhythm and he found the required pace for the wicket so far. So it's a very good over so far.
Big appeal down leg. Umpire judges him to be not out. There was a definite sound as Javed pushed this ball through a little bit quicker down the leg side. Must have been just a flick of the pad or the thigh pad as we have a look here.
Javed, well done.
It's a very good over here. He's asking very good questions here. He upped the pace a little bit, as you can see there. And I think that umpire made a very good decision there. The previous one was definitely from the pad there, but a very good over so far.
Hits it aerial down to long off, which ends a very fine over by Javed. He really managed to get some pressure for his fielding side there, and the score moves to 73 for 1 after 16 overs. Just the high rises again. Just those 2 overs, the first over and the 13th over, that stand out. The 2 big overs that went for 8 and 10. As Nawaz continues from the university end.
Yeah, Nawaz has been very tidy. I just got a feeling that punt is starting to look to go leg side again here. He's just picking up the length that Nawaz is bowling here. So hopefully he can be one step ahead and maybe some sort of a change up, maybe roll his fingers over, because we just get a slight suspicion here that punt is lining him up here to open up the vacant leg side area.
Nicely bowled. Nicely bowled where he attacked that 5th stump line and bowled away from punt's strength, who just finds a thick outside edge down to 3rd man. Still seems to be in a little bit of discomfort after being hit in the previous over from Nawaz, who's been the pick of the bowlers for me this morning. He has 1 for 18 of 4.2 overs. He's hit an uncomfortable length on a dry surface. He'll look to continue that. Gives himself some room and just dabs it down to 3rd man for another single, as Iyer takes his score up to 28 from 40 balls.
Yeah, it just shows there again, as Johan earlier mentioned with the pitch report, such a good wicket it is here today, where you can trust the bounce. A little bit slow, but you can trust the bounce, you can trust the pace and get used to it. And as you rightly said there, he hit that ball off his stumps. He just gave him nice room there to be able to get the ball down to 3rd man.
Short! Pulled away to the leg side, well fielded. Brilliant piece of fielding on a deep square boundary by, and that's a tone this Afghanistan team want to set for the rest of their fielding day. But punt most definitely favouring that leg side boundary, and he'll look to continue that attack. Squeezes out to mid-wicket, where they'll push for 2. Punt being able to come back to the non-striker's end.
Yeah, it just looks like Iyer got a lot of time when he plays the ball through the leg side to get his head in a very good position there from the beginning of today. Just looks like he needs to up a gear maybe a little bit in terms of the partnership. But in the end again, if he's going to be close to the 40th over as a top order batter, he'll do a very good job for his side and the guys can bat around him. So there's obviously different horses for different courses, and he looks like the anchor man for this India A side.
Forces one over straight mid-wicket as they look to up the ante a little bit. Iyer this time the man to take the initiative to take Nawaz on, and he only manages to get inside half of the bat over a straightish mid-wicket. Slightly losing his shape on the shot, but still doing enough for it to go for a boundary.
Yeah, maybe just the predictability and length there. He's been very good in that length, but it just got predictable and I just picked him up there. And it brings us to the end of the 17th over. India A on 82 for 1.
Just as we look at the India A partnerships this morning, a solid partnership to kick off by Shreyas Iyer and Karun Nair, where they managed to get 38 runs off 53 balls just to get them into the game. And then between Iyer and Rishabh Pant, the current partnership, which is slowly but progressively getting better and more aggressive as well. The partnership is 44 of 52 balls. Just some running repairs for batsman Pant, as there seems to be a little bit of a chip in the bat. Call for some reinforcements, and once you have a bat you really enjoy, it's always a little bit of a concern. You don't want to ask for a new bat when it's going well, and just some tape being applied to that bat.
Yeah, and a new bowler there from the high performance end. He bowled very well on Saturday, so let's see what the left arm spinner Sharaf is up to today. Sharafuddin Ashraf, 22-year-old left-arm spinner. We were quite impressed with him on Sunday, so let's see what he can bring to the party today.
That's leg. And that's middle.
Interesting change here, career. That off spinner just asked a couple of good questions here at the end of the last over, and they took him off here. Quite an interesting ploy.
Very, I just thought about that. You know, he bowled a beautiful over, unless they look to swinging him around and follow Nawaz from this end. Down leg. Not a good start by Sharaf. Yes, he bowled a really good over, Javed, from the top end. And my prediction is that he'll probably follow Nawaz, but if he starts from Sharaf. And this time Pant just nudges off his hip to deep square leg again.
Yeah, there again, it's just important for Sharaf to find the right pace here. It was just too slow through the air there, and so much easier to play off the slow wicket there. So it's important for him to bowl with quicker pace and the ball into the wicket, so the batter needs to adapt a little bit more.
It's probably just a little bit of rough to work with as well for him bowling to the left-hander. And important that he bowls that aggressive fifth stump line. Early sign of intent by Iyer here against Sharaf. Really be targeting that extra cover area.
Moved quite early there, and Sharaf seen him and he hauled it back a little bit. Very good adaptation there. What I like also about him is giving himself a bit of protection of his field up front to settle in to his bowling spell here today.
Cuts it to point, but well fielded this time, as we see a few dots being strung together here. This time he chooses to go down to long on, just to get off strike. And yes, like we mentioned earlier, it's important the line and the pace that he bowls to the left-hander here. I think you almost want to force the left-hander to hit through the offside here. With the ball just a little bit of spin out of that rough, that's probably the best chance of them getting a wicket as well. Slightly too straight again, much easier option that for Pant.
Yeah, it's a low-risk option that I agree with you. He needs to go in that attacking fifth stump there to force him to play through the offside, which brings us to the end of the 18th over, 86 for 1.
As Johan van der Walt replaces me in the comm box.
लेफ्ट लेफ्ट हाँ हाँ तो सही जाना ऐसा ना तो मैदान
Thank you, Greer.
डन नशा नवाजा विकेट तो वर असा लाडशा मैदान लाडशा ऐसा ना
India progressing quite
ओ
nicely.
विकेट लाडशा
So look at the bowling figures, and
Bas,
we
bas,
feel
bas,
Afghanistan
bas,
has
bas,
been
bas,
really
bas,
impressive
bas,
this
bas,
morning. Shafri really well bowled.
बस रुस्त में रहा ऐसा
1 wicket down, and it was with the 1 wicket.
Just a little bit away from
कितना ले
center.
जावे जानता
India looking to put the foot down, looking to up the run rate. We've got a bowling change, spin from both ends. Javed. Javed just changing ends.
Yeah, you will feel that Afghanistan have built pressure, but then have let themselves down in not taking those vital and crucial chances. Flicked of the legs on this occasion. And that is something that they're going to have to learn moving forward, that once you build the pressure, you actually are setting your opposition up. It is entirely up to you as a team to come together and take those vital chances, which can make a difference in the outcome.
And you're absolutely right. I think we saw against South African A, they've also put down a few catches. It's vital. It puts the side on the back foot. They've dropped both these batsmen. Two new batsmen, total different ball game. Something they to work on for them. But they've been really impressive this morning.
Comes down the wicket on this occasion. Hits a straight pass back the bowler. Slowly building a partnership, these two. And it's just gone over 50 runs in 62 balls. So they're really building a platform to launch towards the back end of the innings.
Nicely worked. Mid wicket, looking for 2. Won't get it. Yeah, it's a partnership that's been built. One feels it should have been broken. It's in the past now. For the first time, Bumi, we've got the sun out. It's been really cold this morning. Ground bathed in sunshine.
Comes down the wicket and nicely works it towards the region of deep mid wicket. Yes, the sun is out. We've all been wearing our sweaters this morning. The sky is finally opening up. Neatly done once again, making it hard for the off spinner to settle. They've shown the initiative coming down the wicket, flicking the balls off the line. End of the 19th, 91 for 1.
There you can see the partnership, 53 runs off 65 balls. Nice going by India A. Pant, the more aggressor in the partnership. He scored 31 of 40. Ayal has been there from the start.
Rocks onto the back foot and punches it towards the cover boundary. And they're going to stroll back for 2. Comes down the wicket, and there's a huge heave. And he's misheaded towards deep backward of mid wicket. Really trying to stem his authority now. Pant, he's on 35 after 42 balls. They don't want the spinning combination to settle.
feel Pant trying to put his foot down. He's had a start. Just works this one. Deep square leg. Only be one. Feels, I think they feel they want to put pressure on these two spinners.
Excellent boys. Learn.
So Afghanistan's strong point. Looking to be a little bit more aggressive. They've only lost 1 wicket. They're in a position to do so. And see if they can get that run rate, which is just under 5. Being closer to 5.5.
Bowled on this occasion, not giving him room to do much at all. Indians. Very experienced outfit. Rocks back on that occasion as well. Gets away with it.
Yeah, one feels he's missed out there. Maybe try to hit it a little bit fine. Could have hit it square. Now there's a field change. The slip comes out. Goes to back foot point. Just punches it down the ground for a single. Has been solid today. The end of the over. 97 for 1 after 20.
Yeah, they will have some kind of total in the back of the mind. Currently, they're going at looking at some region of 242, but with wickets in hand, as South Africa did on Sunday, they will be looking close to that 300 mark, towards the 350 mark, if Afghanistan don't take their chances. Comes down the wicket on this occasion and whips it off his legs towards deep cow corner, and it will run away for 4.
Brilliant use of the feet. It's with the turn. Off spinner to the right-hander. Most important there, finds the gap. A couple of bounces into the fence. Definitely turning it on. For the first time we see the run rate on to 5. Definitely turning it on. Putting the pressure on Afghanistan spinners.
Quicker one. Neatly done. Yeah. Moves on to 43. They spin very well, the Indians.
Yeah, they always have. Because they've got so many spinners in their country and they play on wickets. It's conducive to spin. Full toss. Full one. Over mid-on. The second boundary. That ball got what it deserved. It's been put away easily by Pant. An expensive over. This one.
I think it's been the case with the Afghanistan attack. Lacking consistency, which will end up costing them at the end. And the unconventional pull of the front foot. Just goes for a single.
Already 10 runs of this over. Pant definitely looking to be the aggressor since he's come in. He's been dropped, of course. He will feel he'll use that chance he's been given.
Comes down the wicket again. Here's another huge heave. Very unfortunate for the bowler not to go in hand. Taking risks here, the Indians. They're looking to up that ante, putting the spinners under pressure. Rightfully so, though.
Thought it was really well bowled. Batter came down, kept his nerve. Short, cut straight to the fielder. 11 off the over. Good one for India. 108 for 1 after the 21st over.
Last 5 overs. The Indians have gone 7 runs to the over, hitting 3 fours. They've looked to be busy. They've looked to take on these Afghanistan spinners. And a positive move from the spinner, slip in place, which is always good to see. It shows your intention as the bowling lineup. Comes down the wicket. This one hits it straight up in the air. They are gathering underneath it. And it's taken. Very, very good catch. Running from mid-wicket and stating himself underneath the high ball. And takes a comfortable catch to break this ever-trading partnership.
Haya falling short, 6 short of his 50. As you were saying, trying to keep the pressure on Afghanistan. Only managed to hit this one straight up in the air. Eventually, easier catch. All taken, and they've taken one today. So he's done for the day. Really played well. Tried to up the ante a little bit. He's gone for 44.
Very crucial wicket to break the partnership. And this is how it happened. Came down the wicket, tried to launch it over the long off. And only managing to hit it straight up in the air. Which brings the Indian captain, Manish Pandey, age 27. He's already made a couple of appearances for the Indian national side. Very experienced player indeed.
Worked onto the legs for a single. Yeah, Pandey, those of you also seen him in the IPL. Played a few really good innings there. Exciting player. Very experienced.
Touch away from you. That's leg, son.
Afghanistan striking a slip for him.
Batsman is coming left from around.
Trying to put pressure on the new batsman. Only 3 players outside the 30-yard circle. Cut off those ones. See if you can put some pressure on him.
Oh, good bowling. Quicker one to start. An opportunity here for the Afghanistan spinners to strangle the new batsman, making it hard for him to get off the strike. Rocks back. Get it away.
Interesting how quickly the momentum can shift. The spinners have been put under pressure, and now it's their turn to put some pressure on the batsman. Bowled again, just for that 1 wicket. They feel now, and you can hear it in the background. Very vocal now, and they know they're in with a chance here. The Afghanistan players.
Is off the mark, the captain. And that will bring an end to the 22nd over. 110 for 2.
Yeah, and a really good over. They went for a couple, and also obviously the wicket. We're very happy with that. So both the openers gone. Aya has gone for 44. Caught Nawaz of Sharaf. And Naya only 11. He was out earlier. So India will be looking, Manish Pandey, to take India's total. That's what you said earlier, see if they can get too close to the 300. bowling change for Afghanistan. Najib into the tackle, spin bowler.
Yeah, they're going all out to India with the spin attack. It's mainly off spinners,
Bowling outcoming around the wicket.
trying to slow things down. These Indians,
And centre.
who are more than capable of playing spin, as Johan pointed out earlier on.
It was a very similar trend to that we've seen on Sunday with South African A batting first. Slogs across the line, his protection, only one. He's going to keep playing his shots. As I was saying, very similar trend. Took the batters a little bit of time to settle, find the places of the wicket. But once you're in, it looks like a lovely wicket to bat on. So whenever you give yourself a chance, get in, get the pace. Panthers shown, you can really score freely.
Rocks back this time. Solid cut to point, and they will run off the misfield.
Feeling miss out there. There's no protection behind. A little bit of a thumble. Scamper through for the single.
Quicker one. Straight back. Past the bowler. Field changing regularly here. Indian batsmen not making it easy for the Afghanistan spinners to settle. The left and right combination not make it easy for them at all. Tossed up on that occasion, sweetly driven towards mid-off. They will run yet of another slight fumble. Brings the end to that over. That's the end of the 23rd. 1-1-5 for 2.
Six bowlers used by Afghanistan. A lot of spin options being taken now.
One thing the Indians have done very well, as we pointed out in the last over, that they keep rotating the strike, left and right combination. Short on this occasion. Manages it to put it away towards deep mid-wicket.
Yeah, something we spoke about at length on Sunday. Afghanistan managing to find the boundaries quite frequently, but they struggle to change the strike around. Again, just punch down the ground. And that's something they'll learn with experience. It's not always just the boundaries that wins your games. You gotta keep the scoreboard ticking. That's where India very good. South Africa's also been very good with that on Sunday. So something they'll certainly look at.
Yeah, and I do really feel that that is the big difference between these two teams, especially when Afghanistan played South Africa. They scored a lot of boundaries, Afghanistan, sometimes in the air, sometimes on the ground, but they lacked and they struggled to rotate the strike consistently. As a matter of fact, it just put a whole lot of pressure on themselves. to keep on scoring boundaries because they are not taking those necessary singles.
Wait on.
Very lazy. Well done. Shabash. Dear Allah. Shabash. Iran bash to say it. Yo balam dart bakar. Nawaz ala gurus bana rasha to kada.
Really bowling well.
Dilda Najibi sare te yo bach ka bas.
I mean, that's why they're here. Experience for them. That's how you learn. They're not a big test playing nation. Short, pulled away. Protection there. Only for the one. Very good over. End of the over. 120 for 2 after 24 overs.
First 50 coming off 72 balls. Second one a touch quicker. They've just managed to show the intensity and the initiative, especially towards the spinners. As we said, very experienced batting lineup, the Indian A side. Yeah, but speaking of the experience, lack of the Afghanistan cricket team, most teams like Zimbabwe and Bangladesh started in sort of similar fashion where, you know, they needed to learn by playing these experienced nations and figure themselves out through world cricket, basically.
Yeah, and you learn when you play against better players and better teams. And that's how you learn. You don't learn playing against weaker sides. So this will be a great experience for Afghanistan. On the inside of the bat, not where it was intended. Squirted out to deep square. Picks up one. I always felt someone said to me, when you practice whatever, tennis, those type of things, you only learn when you play against guys that's better than you. And that will be crucial for them. One feels when they're here, there's people that they can learn from. The batsmen speak to people, and that's the only way to learn. There's no harm in asking any experienced guys, people like Raul Dravid here. Oh, I'm walking up to him and having a word or two. Can only be good for your career.
That's leg stump.
Absolutely. Herschel Gibbs is a batting consultant for the South Africa A. What an amazing opportunity for this young Afghanistan batsman to just go and take Herschel out for coffee or two. Just a couple of tips on batting, that wouldn't hurt. Magnificent player Herschel Gibbs is. Quicker one. Just trying to quiet things down here. Afghanistan spinners. Oh, just letting himself down, making the ground, but just couldn't get down in time, allowing the batsman to stroll through for a single. He's gone up in the air. There's a man back. He's taken a magnificent catch. Oh, you know, he's put it through his hands. It fooled me too. He came down the wicket. It was an opportunity. And that brings up his 50. Very fortunate to still be there. He made an effort, Farid, at the boundary. Long off boundary. But he just couldn't gather. Went through his hands and just cleared the boundary for the maximum.
Feels this had to be taken. He's in. Being on the high felt, the ball surprises you sometimes. Another chance goes a begging. Count moves on to 53. Oh, 53, he's been lucky. But Afghanistan not doing themselves any favors. Not taking their half chances.
زرادة زرادة ready شاباش شاباش
Desmond change of bowler, right arm over.
And that 6 concluded
Touch away
no
from
no
me.
the 25th over.
Touch more. That's leg stamp.
Brings in a new bowler, Ramad. Bowled very well against South Africa. Gave the ball a lot of air. Gave it time to purchase from the wicket that assisted spin bowlers.
Straight on the mark. Yeah, you're right. He was impressive on Sunday. Also very nice to see. Almost feels the last couple of years the leg spinners has come back into one-day cricket.
راشا
Been used as strike bowlers, which is fantastic to see.
سيد بريج دنا براشي اوت بشي
There was a little time that they've been missed.
فيلدرز تلاقي بند
They've
بس
only been put as four-day cricket, test match cricket, but it's good to see them back
ملك شاجي
in one-day cricket. Such an asset to have.
Rocks back on that occasion. He puts it away through extra cover. And there's no protection on the boundary. And he picks up a 4.
راشا شرفه زنوازه زرادة لك دي خواشة جاويد اوس او قدم دي خواشة بس بس
That boundary will enforce a field change.
ان شاء الله شاباس ready
Cover
ready
drops
shake
back to the
درسي كيش
boundary.
شاباس
For protection.
ولا جيبها جيبها
They're looking for a single. They'll make it comfortably.
Jimmy, I was just about to say before they punted, hit that six, they've hit a lot of shots, but India hasn't run away with it. But this is a crucial moment in the game. They've upped their run rate a little bit. Crucial moment in the game, this. They can take it away from Afghanistan here. So, very crucial. One feels halfway.
Good fielding. Absolutely, it's amazing what that opportunity here at the boundary could have done in terms of changing this game around. Game is won and lost in small margins, and those are the opportunities that you need to grasp as a team. Thick outside edge, misfield, and it's going to run away to the third man boundary for 4. They cannot afford such fielding display. The Afghanistan outfit allowing this Indian side to settle and actually gain momentum, slowly taking this game away from the opposition.
All right, the culprit again. Here's the guy that just missed the catch. Fortunate, but just not good enough from Afghanistan in the field. They're letting so much pressure off the hook.
Given air, sweetly driven along the ground. And that will conclude the 26th over, 140 for 2. On that note, it is a change in commentary. It's Johnny Davids and Koba Spinner.
Thank you, Dumisa. Thank you to Johan as well. 140 for 2. If they're scoring at this rate, they will end up with 269. Will it be enough? Well, time will tell. 6 per over, 284. They will look more into the region of 8 per over. That will get them well above 300. Not much spectators to speak of. It's drips and drabs. It's Tuesday morning. Don't forget that. With me, Kubus Spinard. It's been that sort of day, Kubus. It's 5.38. And one must give credit to the bowling attack of Afghanistan A thus far.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Johnny. They tried very hard. I think if the fielders helped them a little bit more and assisted them a bit more with the catches that they could have held on to, it would have been a different picture here. Always say 2 wickets to that score, 140 for 4, and it's definitely more in Afghanistan's favour. But as we speak, Farid into his second spell.
Now, the one negative thing, and you just touched on it, is the fielding of the Afghanistan A team not up to scratch, especially not on this level. Have to do better than, I think they dropped about 2-3 catches thus far.
You have leg stump
And
there.
against a team like India A, you
centre there.
can't afford fielding like that. But apart from that, I think they must be pretty happy, especially their bowlers.
Yeah, Farid, a little Basley bowler, very attacking bowler, very aggressive in his approach. So hopefully he can have a good spell. He struggled a little bit, he overstepped the front line a couple of times in his first spell. So let's hope he can find a bit of rhythm here.
Well, that one, is it going to reach the fence? No, not quite. And just one, can you believe it?
Yeah, very well moved there by Usman on the long on boundary to save the second run there. And that just shows you how little things like that can up the bowler's intensity and just create a bit of a vibe in the field for the team to play together and to stick together and to support the bowler, most importantly.
Quite a long run up for Farid. I think as you get older, that will definitely shorten. That's brilliant bowling.
Yeah, definitely. We were impressed with him on Sunday. He bowled with good pace. He bowled from the other end. He bowled from right performance end to end predominantly. And just today, it just looks like a bit of stiff muscles. He just struggled to get his rhythm and get his flow. And as you rightly said, the run-up sometimes a little bit overrated, if you can put it that way, because you want to have optimum pace and optimum speed at the crease to get the ball down to the batter as well and as effective as you can. So maybe just a little bit of a waste of energy with the run-up.
Now coming around the wicket now to Pandey. 16 from 23 deliveries. With the punt still there on 59 from 56 deliveries.
Yeah, I just mentioned his name now, Manish Pandey. Wealth of experience. He plays for the main India side regularly. And it's such a good challenge for the Afghanistan A players to play against these guys and to measure them and to see where they are with their recent test status and things, to see what they're going to be up to in the forthcoming event.
That's another run. Square leg field on the boundary. Restricted to just a single. I can't agree with you more, Quivers, in terms of just look at what happened to cricket in Bangladesh, for instance. The opportunities that they got, grabbed it with both hands, and now one of the role players in international cricket. One of these days they're coming to South Africa for a test in a one-day series, the team of Bangladesh. One more ball left in this over. 3 runs thus far. Good over. 143 for 2.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm a firm believer of the better competition and the better opposition you play against, the better you're going to be. You're going to become a better player. You're going to lift your standards and you're going to expect what's required from you, and then you can make plans to get to that level, and that's very, very important. And that's a good initiative from the ICC to reward 2 teams who've done well in the Intercontinental Cup, Afghanistan and Ireland, to give them test status and to give them a bit more money and to see where they can become in the next couple of years.
Just 2 wickets lost. Iyer on 44, Nair on 11. Still lots of batting to come for India A. Rahmat. Well, that one is airborne. Safe for 4.
Yeah, just a little bit too much width there for the batter, and he just got onto that and he just gave him too much room there. And it's an incredible shot over extra cover there from the test player, Manish Pandey.
Yeah, look to up the tempo now. We're in the 28th over with a run rate at 5.4. Straight along on just 4 singles. It's a beautiful day in Pretoria. This morning when we arrived here, it was quite chilly, it's quite cold. Now at least the sun came out and much better. Still in winter, last month of winter in South Africa in the southern hemisphere. Easy single. It's quite strange to see cricket this time of the year in South Africa.
Incredible if you look at the field, how lush green it is and how well they've done to get it right. I do believe we had a bit of a mild winter at this point in time in the IFL here, but all credit to University of Pretoria to look after the facility so well and to have this ready for us at this time of year.
And the nice thing is during winter, up here in the Highveld, no rain. It's only in the Western Cape and those areas where you get winter rains. 150 up for India A.
Yeah, 150 came in good pace, 27.5 overs, definitely very good pace, 8 wickets in hand. Anything can happen from here. And they've definitely done all the hard work to get to a massive big score here today.
This one is airborne, who's underneath it. This is going to be a catch. Yeah. At the right moment for Afghanistan, another wicket. The third one down.
Yeah, Pant will be very disappointed with that shot. No need for that. Last ball of the over. Beating the ball nicely along the ground. First bowler for the spinner. And he's sort of given it away there. As you can see walking off here. Very disappointed. And he'll feel he's thrown away a big 100 here today.
Never easy, those kind of catches. Made it look easy. And he will not be impressed with himself. Works so hard for all those runs. .60 of 59 balls caught by Sharaf of Rahmat's bowling. New man in, looks like Huda. Deepak Huda.
Yeah, Deepak Huda, the new batter here. It's an interesting stage of the game for him now. It's important for him to make sure that he rotates the strike well. If you look at his career there, average of 43, so he's definitely more than handy with the bat. So let's see how he adapts and let's see if they can create a new partnership here between the two of them.
Farid is going to continue. There was any bat involved. Bowler looked quite interested in that one.
Yeah, much better movement there by the Afghanistan captain and wicketkeeper Shafiq. We just sort of earlier said he dropped that one ball where he looked to dive towards the ball. And if you can see at his approach there, straight away he used his feet to get himself in a better position, to get closer to the ball. And it helps him so much more to be able to move across the ground.
Straight to point, no run. No, it's you mentioned Shafiq. That is just his name on his shirt, his full name, Shafiqullah Shafaq. So it's a good thing that they shorten the names for us. Can be quite a tongue twister, that one.
He'll definitely not have enough space at the back of his shirt either. So they've done wonders there for us.
Nice to see these guys in South Africa. Great opportunity for them. That's good bowling.
Yeah, Farid struggled up front here in his first spell. The ball was swinging a little bit and he was too straight. So I really like his approach now coming around the wicket here, just to give him a little bit more certainty in terms of his line and length. And that's all his captain is asking for now, to be nice and accurate and to create a bit of pressure in a different way.
Loud shout of no. Well, Kubus, if you follow the trend of one-day cricket, they normally say if you reach 30 overs, then you double your score. And if one would believe that, then India A will be well above 300.
Yeah, we mentioned it's a very good wicket and it's a bad first wicket, yeah, and we were in the same situation on Sunday where South Africa A was on 170 for 2 after 50, and we all fought 340 and they got to 333, so it's quite accurate with wickets in hand.
Oh! Well, there's a run, but not good work by the captain behind the wickets. He's been struggling a bit today, Shafiq.
It's a very good delivery, that, and a very good backup spell here by Farid, and it just shows his worth here in this team. Just looks like got a bit more rhythm, a bit more pace behind the ball, and he looks very consistent at the moment, which is good for his captain.
Oh, that's he's coming around the wicket now. Farid, this last ball. Now the one disappointing factor for Afghanistan is their fielding. Now there's a fielding change. Look, he's going to bring in the fielder at first slip.
Yeah, I like that. Very positive captaincy here to get the slip in place. He bowled a good spell so far. Bat on 0, so let's see what happened here.
Buddha with his first delivery. Can't get it through. 151 for 3 after 29 overs.
Yeah, there you can see India A batting card so far. I think Pant will be a little bit disappointed if he's 60 or 59 balls. He batted nicely. I think he thrown away a big 100. But Pandey and Udi here, and they definitely got a lot of batting to come, and the all-rounders to come still. So they'll be very crucial to get a good partnership between Pandey and Uda here to take them deep, close to the 40th over with wickets in hand, and then anything can happen.
You've seen any spin today? Not much?
No, we've seen the same as Sunday. The leg spinner get a little bit of purchase from the wicket, but it looks a lot drier than it actually turns, so more the pace is important here.
Excellent, excellent.
It's actually quite surprising to think, if you think about this time of year where the wicket should be dry. Quite interesting actually.
Push! Wala wala. Excellent, Shaji,
Just the
excellent.
push off the back foot, no run.
Shabas, 60 boys, Shabas. Shabas, circle wala, each select.
Through the covers. It'll be a single. Now, as it stands at the moment, because it looks like South Africa in the final next week, Tuesday. But again, who? Is there going to be any surprises from the Afghanistan team?
Yeah, it will be very good for the trial series. Afghanistan can upset them here today. I think India's a class outfit and they've got very good bowlers. But it'll always be good for a trial series. You want the guys to be going all the way to the last game to decide who's playing in the final. So let's hope Afghanistan can make a few inroads here today.
Also good for the South African A team. They had a good tour in England, struggling there. Now Shukri Conrad and the men getting it all together for this series. Another easy single.
Oh, very well played there by Uda. He gets himself inside of the ball. He opens up the offside there. He's through the line. Looks a good player at this point in time. You chatted about the turn earlier. I just think the pace that the spinners bowl doesn't allow them to turn too much. As soon as the ball's slower, it's easier for the batters to get in position to play, but then it does take a bit of turn.
Oh, missed that one. Keeper also missed it. Edge flew through his over 153 for 3.
You briefly mentioned about South Africa, who struggled a bit against the England Lions over in England. Conditions obviously suit the England Lions there. But we also see the squad of South Africa adapted a little bit. They brought in a bit of experience. Henry Davids is strengthening the side at the top of the order. So it's good to see them making plans here. Unfortunate now with John Smuts, who broke his thumb, so he's out. Here you can see what happened so far in the 8-try series here. We are at match 4 today between Afghanistan and India. And South Africa undefeated so far. Afghanistan haven't won a game yet, and India on 5 points, won one and lost one so far. So all in the balance.
No ball again. He's been struggling with the no balls today, Farid. Free hit offered to the batsman now.
A little bit of luck for the captain here as they got a single, so he can have a field change here, which give him a little bit more protection. But still, Farid needs to sort this out as soon as he can.
Yeah, we spoke about him earlier on. He's got a very long run up. He's been struggling with that front foot of his. Farid, I think it's about his 3rd or 4th no ball. Now a free hit. Can't be out except run out. Pandey is facing. Short one, and that one is, well, he's been caught, but it's not going to be out. You might as well, when you've been offered a free hit.
Yeah, 4 no ball free hits so far, 2 boundaries and 2 catches that hasn't been out. But what I'm impressed with the Indian batters are still their standard of free hits. I think they keep it very simple at this point in time, and this shows just what class players they are to play at this level and be quite effective.
Just a push there through 3rd man. Yeah, there must be some sort of game plan if you look the way India is batting now. Hopefully telling themselves, listen, let's, with wickets in hand, on a 43rd, 44th over, and then we can cash in.
Yeah, there's always a theory in one-day cricket. If you look at the wickets in hand, and that just allows you how many overs from the back end that you can have to have a bit of a go to play freely at the back end. So, for argument's sake, if you've got 7 wickets in hand, you can go from the 43rd over, 5 wickets in hand, 45th. So that's a good equation to use.
No!
Well, no doubt that Farid has got some gas. Fortunately, he's been struggling a bit with his no balls today. Other than that, he's can feel quite happy thus far. No wickets as yet. Oh, just fishing at that one, Pandey. It's just a pity we don't have a meter that can tell us how fast he is bowling, because that ball looks very fast.
Yeah, he's a nice bustly bowler, and we're impressed with him. I think the run-up and maybe the shortened run-up by a couple of meters, but that the specialist will sort out. In terms of the energy towards bowling, he shows very good skill there, and he shows that he got the heart and the willpower to run in and get the ball to the bat at good pace, which is all you need in a fast bowler.
That's going to be a wide. Now Cooper's coming around the wicket now. You think that's a good tactic? Do you think he should stay over the wicket?
Generally, as a left-arm seamer, I think over the wicket is better. It just gives you more option of getting wickets. I just felt in his opening spell he was too straight, so maybe just he adapted today in terms of the conditions to help him a little bit.
Oh, use of the feet! Another drop catch, can you believe it? That was straightforward. And that's another drop catch from the Afghanistan A team. I think it's about the fourth one.
Yeah, it just didn't look like comfortable catching it. It just looked like he palmed it forward and just tried to stop the boundary instead of actually catching the ball. And that's a big thing at this level of international cricket, which the Afghanistan guys can improve. It's been a downfall for them on Sunday, and we can say the same problem here today again.
He must be furious for it. Last ball. Square leg. Fielder restricted to just a single. End of the over. India 160 for 3.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting stat they throw to us here. Time since the last boundary, 23 balls in 17 minutes. No wonder the batter tried to hit that boundary and got dropped there. A little bit of pressure on them here to keep the scoreboard going. So good work here by Afghanistan in this dead period, the middle period of the inning so far.
Yeah, 23 balls since the last boundary, 17 minutes. Last over produced 6 runs. Rahmat. Start with his 4th over.
Excellent, excellent. Shabash, Shaji, well done, well done.
Have to hurry for that single. The end made it easy.
That's a very good leg spin action here by Rahmat. He gets through the crease nicely. A lot of purchase on the ball, a lot of turn on the ball. It's good to see him going to develop and become a great for Afghanistan.
Oh,
Excellent, Rahmat, excellent. Rahmat.
airborne as well, but it's going to fall safe for 4. Yeah, needed to come that one for the India A team. It's been a while since we saw a boundary. Just too short. Batsman can freeze arms for that one. Loud shout of no.
Yeah, he shows good control here by Rahmat. The batter definitely had to play and take a risk there to hit that ball across the line to get the boundary. So he's definitely in with a chance there as far as he bowls that good line and length.
Shouting for 2, coming back for the second one. The end made it easy. 7 runs from that over for the India A team, 167 for 3 after 32 overs. Well, there was a brilliant second partnership of Shreyas Iyer and a punt of 70. And then a start from Pandey and punt again. Now Huda and Pandey busy with another one of 17.
Look like a bowling change here from the University of Pretoria, and Sharaf, the left-arm spinner, is going to come back for a second spell. So let's see what he can dish up for us here. I think from an India point of view, this partnership is quite important. It's the last partnership of the top 5 specialist batters, and they will hope for these two to go quite deep into the innings here to set up a platform for them to have a real launching platform going into the back end of the first innings here today.
Well, Sharaf looking to continue with that good bowling spell. The first one, 4 overs, 1 wicket for 17, just 4.2.
Ground Kishan. Last class,
Long on and long off in position.
Shabash, shabash, Khazi ki bowling pakar de, Khazi ki.
Next time, sir. Next time,
That is leg stump.
Yo, Tawfiq Musa, yo, Bora.
Asking for leg stump there, Pandey. Well, not a good delivery. This one on its way to the boundary for 4. Just too short.
Yeah, it's tough for the captain. If you look at his field setting, got long on and long off on the boundary. You need to be fuller than that for the batters to hit the underground. So, without any rest there, it's an easy boundary. Freedom vacant mid wicket area for 4.
Baste pe Farida Maza. Lagta ho Shakhana. Lag di khali jandi tara rasa.
Easy single again.
Quick change, zar zar zar.
Oh,
Yunasa. Sachalle bata so lagi shayar, come on.
almost another run there. Luckily for the fielder, picked it up in time. Keeping the scoreboard ticking. 2 batsmen, Pandey and Huda.
Yeah, just a little bit too straight there. If you look at his protection on the offside there, you got 2 men in the extra cover area there. It's just a little bit too straight, which makes it easy to tuck it to the leg side for an easy single.
That delivery a bit faster, but another easy single again. And that's all you need at this stage. 1 boundary, just cash in with all the singles. Another boundary will just be a bonus. Good use of the feet again for another easy single to end off the over. 176 for 3.
Ibrahima.
176 for 3. Time for commentary change now. It's going to be Creer van Wyk and Johan van der Walt.
Shaji.
Touch away from me. That's leg stump.
Leg sida Sharaf. Mamma yoda preda. Preda chwade. Preda. Dada bane hoga preda chwade. Chalte wala za.
As Ramat continues. Sweep shot into the deep. Just behind square leg here by Huda, and they come back for a 2.
Plenty of open areas on the square leg boundary. One guy protecting the leg side boundary, which means Huda is trying to target that area. Interesting field.
In the air,
Tavigi.
just short of the man on deep cover boundary.
Good ball. Daud lido.
And Huda really looking to assert himself on Ramat here. Yes, you want quite an interesting field he's bowling with here. We've seen it being quite a slow wicket, and anything short just sits up. So the bowler putting, and the captain I suppose, putting him under a lot of pressure with this field. Short and wide. This time Pandey cuts it to deep point.
You'll feel India won't be too unhappy when they lost the toss and been put into bat. Feels the wicket might just slow up a little bit. Field change now. Deep square goes out on the boundary for that sweep shot.
This time timed nicely out to long of boundary. Huda pushes hard, but unable for them to come back for two. Yes, it was quite an interesting decision this morning by Afghanistan A to bowl. And credit to them, they have been slightly more disciplined than the game on Sunday against SAA. But India's still in a very strong position here. Beats a man at backward point. Runs down to the third man boundary where there's a good slide by the fielder. Gets that Indian side another 2 runs.
Well, they have been better than we've seen them on Sunday. Only thing that it was the same. They didn't take their chances. They had plenty of chances today. Could have put India under a lot more pressure. They've taken their chances. It's one of the things that they'll learn with experience. Things that they need to work on. It's definitely catching.
Much better, much better. On Sunday we saw their fielders sitting quite deep on the ring as well, but this time they prevent the one with just a slightly more attacking presence. The score moves to 183 for 3 after 33 overs. As we look at the high rises of the Indian A innings, some slightly tall buildings, but also a couple of really tall ones, where there's been a few overs that's gone for between 10 and 12 runs. And as the innings progress, I'm sure we'll see a few more of those, especially between over 40 and 50.
Tucked away for a single, yeah, especially India with only 3 wickets down. Best part of 16 overs to go. They'll be looking to up the tempo. See if they can get to close to 300, maybe a little bit more.
This time slightly quicker by Sharaf. Quite a good length to bowl on this wicket, that's just slightly holding. You've still got to be heavy into the wicket here.
Totally agree with you. Looks like the wicket hasn't got too much pace. The spinners that bowl the ball into the wicket a little bit quicker. You get the natural variation from the wicket as well. It's been the slower spinners that's been easier to play, easier to score the boundary. As you say, the heavier ball into the wicket. Some will stand up, some will skid through. So if one feels it's the pace that needs to be bowled on this pitch.
You can almost feel how India are just buying their time here, setting themselves up for a big last 10. Manish Pandey with the power he has. Deep in there towards his straight mid-wicket boundary, and that ball will go for another 4. This time Sharaf, unfortunately last ball of the over, just drops it short a touch. And Huda this time, or Pandey this time, executes nicely. And India A move to 189 for 3 with the conclusion of the 35th over.
It's been Such a good over from Sharaf.
Baraosa Sharafa.
Sometimes it's so important to exit your over pretty good. Bowls the short one and gets put away. And it spoils all the pressure he started to build early in the over. But as we've said and mentioned so many times, Afghanistan are here to learn, gain experience.
This time they go through for one. Fielder slightly on his heels, and Manish Pandey moves to 43.
Excellent.
Oh, prodigious turn that time by the bowler. The batsman misses it and beats the keeper as well. And the ball races away for 4 byes.
A couple of times we've seen some turn. This one turn beats the batter, so beats the keeper. Turn and bounce.
Be interesting to see if there wasn't a faint little edge on that delivery. Nonetheless, umpires signalled 4 byes, but some encouraging signs for the Indian spinners there. This time he just pushes that one through a little bit quicker. But after seeing as much turn as he did that 2 balls ago, it might be a pace to persist with here for the leg spinner. Slightly slower through the air.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you feel the wrist spinner has got more flight to work with, but your normal arm spinner, left armer, he needs to take it into the wicket. The wrist spinner's got some flight to work with. He's been impressive, Ramat, from Sunday onwards. This is short, pulled straight to the man on the boundary. Huda will feel he's missed out. So it brings us to the end of the 36 over. India 195 for 3.
If we look at the India A batting lineup, Shreyas Iyer had a really good start for the Indian innings together with Karunai, who unfortunately was dismissed earlier. Pant was nice and fluent. He found a nice balance between defence and attack at number 3, and Manish Pandey and Huda, who are slowly progressing this partnership and is looking to take this Indian innings deep into the Indian innings here, probably to around over 40, 42, to give them a lot of momentum going into those last overs.
Now, most of the Indian batsmen getting starts. That's wow, they keep the pressure on Afghanistan. Chance of bowling. Sharifi back into the attack. He's been impressive in his first spell. Only gone for 19 in 6 overs. Although, different challenge. 2 batsmen that are set, looking to up the run rate.
That is 1 leg. Big stump.
Huda just stabs this one down to 3rd man, where he casually strolls through for another single. Be interesting to see when the innings progresses what tactics the Afghanistan A side go with here. Against South Africa, they decided to bowl a lot of slower balls. They veered away from the Yorker option. I think it's important as a bowler not to become too predictable, but use conditions during these final overs to try and restrict this Indian side as much as possible.
Short, smashed away through the deep mid wicket. Now's not the time for that length. Try to work out the middle of the wicket. Lots of time. And the Indian captain has put it away. 4 more to his total. Not enough pace, not short enough. Comfortable height for Pandey.
Can we get this time just another push, which brings up the 50 partnership between Pandey and Huda.
Yeah, coming back to your point, I'm a massive believer in bowling Yorkers at the end, but as you say, you don't want to become predictable.
This time he just uses that typical Indian risk play just to nudge one down to deep square leg for another single. Yeshuan, someone who bowled frequently at the death or at those middle to lower overs. I think the wicket has shown just to be slightly slow. I think it's important to find a balance between that Yorker and those slower deliveries at the back end here today.
Yeah, as well, this field has got a bigger boundary on the one side and the leg side now, so if you want to use the short stuff and the slow stuff, especially at the back end of the innings, make sure your field fits your plans. There's also a bit of a breeze blowing, so when you get batsmen to hit to the long boundary into the breeze, it's not a bad ploy, the slow deliveries.
And a good finish to the over by Sharifi. India A 202 for 3 after 37.
India A currently scoring at close to 5.5 and over. That'll get them to 273. They'll feel they can get plenty more than that. They'll be looking in the region of 8 to 10 runs and over. It will get them above 300, close to 320. That'll be the target. They've got wickets in hand. 13 overs to go. Not long now, and we will see India putting the foot down, getting that run rate closer to 6.
Ashraf is introduced again to the attack from a centre of excellence end. Huda just uses his feet just to try and mix up the length of Sharaf here, who has settled into quite an efficient area here. He bowls slightly quicker through the air, just looks to get a little bit of assistance out of this dry surface.
Very good start. You can see Huda is itching. He wants to get on with it.
You can almost feel the tension building here after 4 dot balls. Be interesting to see how Huda plays this. Is he going to look to take the boundary on? Just look to rotate strike here after these first 4 dot deliveries.
Very good over 5 dot balls, and we see it change the field. Trying to exit his over, maybe a single. Deep mid wicket comes in, and the cover boundary fielder comes into the circle.
Unfortunately, he finds the edge. Won't go for 4 as the bowler chases after it. But a very fine over by Sharaf. 5 dots in that over. as the score moves on to 204 for 3 after 38. As we look at the partnerships of the India A side, this partnership progressively growing, which is currently 54, but the main one that stands out is between Shreyas Iyer and Rishabh Pant. That partnership was 70 of only 78 balls, and I'm sure as the inning progresses we'll see a few more important cameo partnerships.
Short cutaway, protection out there, only a single. Sharifi continues. Third man comes up. Deep mid wicket goes out to the bigger side of the boundary. We'll see if his plans goes hand in hand with his field placing.
Rolls his fingers over this one. Possible run-out chance at the non-striker's end, but unfortunate misfield by the bowler, which gives Huda the opportunity to come back for a second.
A slow delivery there. I think that's the plan now with this field placing. Third man up. Just a line. And obviously Afghanistan's fielding has not been up to scratch today. Dropped a few catches. A couple of thumbles.
Slightly straight at this line. With third man being up in the circle. Important that he, as a bowler, doesn't want to go too wide of that off stump. If he errs, he wants to err on the two straight side here with a lot of variations as well. The last thing you want from a captain's point of view here is a seam up delivery wide of off stump. So important that he maintains that line but stays heavy into the wicket. This time short and wide, exactly where he doesn't want to bowl, and it goes for 4. It takes Manish Pandey to a wonderful 50. This time of only 62 balls, a real captain's innings. And they'd be looking to go even further now and take that into triple figures.
Pandya, really good knock. He's got a lot of experience. We've seen him in India's national side. We've seen him in IPL. One feels now he will up the ante a little bit. Real good knock.
This time he drives off the front foot. Don't think he'd go all the way for 4 as the fielder chases it. But he timed it beautifully, Manish Pandey. A purest stroke. And on a wicket that's slightly slow, the timing was pure. And he moves to back-to-back boundaries to 57.
Pandya, really good weight through the shot. Something that's important on wickets that are slower. India guys will be used to that, but a really good shot. And as we thought, it looks like India looking to put the foot down. They've got plenty of wickets in hand.
This time a drag down, straight to the man at the deep mid-wicket boundary. And at the conclusion of the 39th over, India A 217 for 3. And as Johan mentioned earlier, a lot of starts in that batting order. I think Coach Roald Dravid would be very keen for one of his young batters here to ensure he gets to that magic triple figures. But more importantly, push that team total to well over 300. They have set themselves up nicely for that 300 mark, which will be a very competitive total on this wicket.
And a little bit of turn. Sure, batting will be little bit more difficult for Afghanistan later this afternoon. Looks like we might get a little bit of turn later on. So stopping a little bit, but what you'll expect, Ria, it's we're still slap bang in the middle of winter. Not a lot of green live grass on the wicket. I feel the ground staff has done an unbelievable job. Very good wicket so far.
Yes, sure, and as you would know, rain during the winters is something we don't often see here in Pretoria on the Highveld. But the ground staff have worked tirelessly to ensure that this tri series is a successful one for these three teams.
India will feel is missed out. Full delivery, just punched down the ground for a single. Feels Huda is itching.
A fine lap sweep and beautiful touch being shown here by Huda. He has shown everyone that he has a good power game, but this time he just goes down on one knee and laps it really fine of the man at short fine leg, Ibrahim. Just gets that bowler thinking as well about the pace that he wants to bowl. When a batter goes down on the lap, you almost want to slow things down a little bit from the pace that he's previously used. This time, just a nudge to the man at deep square leg. He almost timed it too well, and they're only able to go through one. And after 40 overs, going into the last power play, India A move on to 221 for 3.
Some of the players and the umpires taking a drink. Is India in their last 5 overs going at 6.4, 3 boundaries, which shows they've rotated the strike brilliantly. It's not always about the boundaries, it's all the balls that's in between, work it around. A lot of twos, a lot of singles.
As we see a change of bowling from the university end. Nawaz come back into the attack. Someone who I thought bowled really well during that first spell of his. He was really unlucky not to pick up a few wickets, and his figures most probably doesn't reflect how well he did bowl. But it's important now, when it's probably the most difficult time to bowl with the team only 3 down, how he responds and how well he can do to restrict India to a chaseable total here for Afghanistan A.
Last 10 overs in the Indian innings, which means Afghanistan can have 5 fielders outside of the 30-yard circle, 4 in the ring.
Huda has a big swing. The keeper slightly deep, gets it on the leg, and they're able to get through for a bye.
Another thing Afghanistan can work on, it's caught my eye, it's been 19 extras, it would be the 20th. Something you can work on, it's a lot of extra runs on the scoreboard. Afghanistan lack a little bit of consistency.
This time Manish Pandey just moves on to off stump and cuts this one out to deep point. looks to me like these two batters have decided that both of them are looking to go hard at the bowling here. Possibly be a case of both looking to attack the boundary, and whoever gets out earlier, he can look to bat through to the 45th over and go again. But some clear signs of intent here in pursuit of that 300 plus score.
Yeah, not always easy on the slow wicket to all suddenly put your foot down. I feel as a bowling side, if you can stick to your guns, your game plans, make batters hit to your field, you've got a chance to restrict them.
Absolutely. If you break it down 60 or 58 balls in this case, 57, there's still a lot of cricket left.